So we're going to go here. What I want to go through is I always get asked, how do you prep your meals? What do you eat every day? How do you cook it? How do you store it? How do you prepare it? All my friends are constantly asking for advice, write me a plan, do this or that. So first thing I'll say, every plan is different. I have a coach and I have someone that does my meals. I change that stuff every week. So for me, it's going to be different than it would be for you. But this is just, I'm going to do 2 days of food because I have it's Saturday, I have Sunday and Monday off. And then I go back to work. I usually only do a day or two of food at a time. So it's fresh. I eat so much food a day that I want it to be fresh. I don't have room in the fridge. I don't have all that time. And after about 3 or 4 days, it kind of gets that weird smell. And it's already the same meals every day, so it's not quite enjoyable. So first things first, I wrote everything down in this little book here with my name. So I got all my meals, all that stuff right there. You guys can kind of give that a peek. And I'll go over that again later. So the first meal I do is it's 2 cups of liquid egg whites right here with 6 ounces of russet potatoes here and 36 almonds, and that's actually technically my breakfast. So I usually get the unsalted, just dry roasted almonds, no flavor, nothing on them, just to keep it simple. I feel like if you add like the chocolate ones or this or that, it adds a lot of unnecessary stuff. So obviously I'm not going to prep these. When I first started doing this and doing my prep, I did do, and I cooked it all up. It ends up being like a whole bowl of fluff, and for me, I don't like that. So what I do, everybody thinks I'm gross, I'll pour it in a cup, and I'll measure that out to 2 cups, which is 16 ounces, and I'll just chug it. Everybody thinks it's gross, but I drink about 1 of these a day. I do 4 cups a day of egg whites. 1 for my first meal, 1 for post-workout instead of a protein shake. So usually I will use my 6-pack fitness bag. I've got these containers here, and I've got my bag here, and I take that to work with me every day. You open that up, put it all in there. So for my breakfast, I'll actually put the egg whites in 1 of these. I measured it out. This is about 2 cups, and I'll keep that in the top right there. That's the first one I'll do. For my post-workout, actually what I do, because I have only 5 containers, I'll actually put it in a shaker cup, put an ice pack in the shaker cup, and take it to the gym with me because I only work out for about an hour and a half, so it stays cold enough to be fresh. So then I'll chug the egg whites immediately after I get in the truck. So first we're going to do our 6 ounces russet potatoes. Alright, so I got our food scale over here. I weigh all my food every day before I cut it up, before I do anything. Very important. So usually I'll just put the whole potato on there. Okay, that's about 4 ounces. This is what I like to call the mix and match, because now I got to play this game and keep going through all these potatoes. Eventually we're going to get it. So 6 ounces on the dot. Perfect. So I'm going to stick with just this potato. What I like to do is, because I don't eat a lot of fries or I don't do a lot of that stuff, is I usually will just cut it up into fries and season it. And for me, I kind of trick my body to think I'm eating something different. So I just cut them long ways like this. So I'll cut it in half here, and I'll flip them like that, and I'll cut them like steak fry style. So now, while this is actually technically my breakfast, which would be my first meal of the day, I have a pre-workout meal, and I get up at 5 a.m. and I go do my pre-workout meal first thing in the morning while I'm getting ready for the day, before I drop the kids off at school. And then by the time I've done all that and I get to the gym, that food's actually digested, so I'm actually getting all those carbs and stuff. And I'll go over that in a minute. So we got our 6 ounces of russet potatoes prepared right there. So now what we're going to do, we've got our pan right here, and I'm going to get my coconut cooking spray. I like to spray these pans because I hate it when these potatoes like stick to this thing. It's just ridiculous. Alright, so I lay them all out like that, face up. Let me do this real quick. Now I'm going to use this pan for a couple of different things. I usually like to put all my potatoes on one pan, like because I do sweet potatoes and russet potatoes, so I'll do all my potatoes on one, and I'll try and do all my meats and chicken on another one. So that's why I got that big one over there. So.
Now is this still 2 days or just 1 day?
Did you pause it? Oh. So, okay, we fast forwarded through a little bit. This is basically 2 days worth of sweet potatoes and my russet potatoes that I do. For russet potatoes, I do 6 ounces once a day. For sweet potatoes, one meal is 8 ounces, one meal is 6 ounces, so I do 14 ounces of sweet potatoes a day. So this is 2 days worth. As far as seasonings go, at this moment I'm not in a cutting phase, so I actually don't really have to worry about sodium too much, so I like to do a little bit spicy and kind of act like I'm doing some fries or something, a little Red Robin style here, so I'm just gonna go crazy with that. Now when I get down to my cutting phase, I'll actually have to start worrying about my sodium intake a little bit more and cutting down on seasonings, but right now I don't do any seasonings with sugar, I don't do any sugary drinks. This is just BCAAs in the gallon. I do 2 gallons of water a day. The only condiments I really use is buffalo sauce, mustard, and reduced sugar ketchup, very sparingly. Most condiments, if you look at the back of them, have a lot of sugars, carbs, unnecessary stuff for your diet. So that kind of kills your diet without you even knowing it. But most hot sauce is just vinegar, some sodium, and a little bit of cayenne pepper, so you're probably okay with that. So now I preheat the oven to 400 degrees. I'm going to put these in here, give these about 20-30 minutes or so. Or at least you can like poke a fork through with that, ease. Then you get on that. So while these are cooking, now we're going to get on to the meat of it. So I eat roughly 1.5 pounds of meat a day. My second meal after breakfast is 9 ounces of chicken. And then I go again after my pre-workout meal. Another meal is 9 ounces of chicken and 8 ounces of tuna. So I usually do the canned tuna. It's easier for me on the go. I don't like spending so much time cooking tuna steak. So first we'll get on to the beef. Since we're doing 2 days worth, I'm going to need 16 ounces of lean beef. I usually go with 93.7. They only had the 90.10 at the store, but that's okay. So I like to make it into like a burger patty. That way when I'm doing my meal, I can have like a burger, some sweet potato fries, something like that. Let's get our food scale out. Let's see where we're at. So I just grabbed like a big handful of here, and I just kind of guesstimate that might be about 8 ounces, but we'll see. Not quite. Perfect, right on the dot, 8 ounces. So I kind of just scrunch this guy up here. Get that ready. We got a nice little lean beef patty right there, so slap that guy there. Let's do this one more time. See if I can get it first try. 8.6. 7.2. Okay, one second. Okay, good to go. Third time's a charm, right? And I usually don't season this because most of the time it's going to cook off or go anyway, so I'll just kind of add a little hot sauce at the end of it or some mustard. Most of this food, I eat the same meals every day, so it's not really so much for enjoyment anymore as it is for performance. I always follow the principle you get out of your body, what you put into it. So doing this training and stuff, you can't really be looking at food as if it's some enjoyable thing right now. You got to eat to fuel your body, all the workouts and all the stuff you're doing. So we got our beef, that's ready to go. I just kind of let this simmer and then we'll move on to the chicken. I always write it down and keep it here so I can just keep referencing it and keep myself accountable as I go. So now I need 2 9-ounce chicken breasts. Go here. Let's get our scale back over here. Okay. Let's see. 12.2, so we can cut this one up a little bit and then reweigh and maybe use it for our next one. I usually cut my chicken into strips. When I grill it, it makes it cook faster, more evenly, and saves me a lot of time. It's 11, almost. Okay, so that's a 9 right there. That's 1 9-ounce portion of chicken. Now let's weigh this guy right here. Get that out of the way. All right. 12 again, okay. So, pick that up. 10. Okay, 9 on the dot. You get good at it after a while, but there's always some kind of a guessing. So now what I'm going to do, I just kind of strip the chicken like that. And I reweigh all this after I'm done cooking it when I put it in my containers, just to make sure I'm keeping the right amounts for the meal. I eat about every 2 hours. I try and time myself. Usually at this point now my body's at a point where I can just, I'll know I'm hungry, so I'll just keep eating. So I like to do it in thin strips like that, laid out, almost like little tenders. Okay, so that's good. That's one. There's one there. This I'm going to save. I'm going to put this in a bag. I'll put this in the fridge, and then tomorrow I'll use this, or the day after rather, I'll use this and I'll put that with the rest of my meat to keep it as fresh as possible. So let's get another pan. And we'll get this guy cooking here, right there. And got those nice strips right there. Good to go. Let that get hot right there. I'll kind of spread these out before the pan gets too hot. And usually in the pan I'll keep them in their own little areas, just so it's a little bit easier for me to keep track. Kind of just do something like that right there. There we go. Okay, so that's a little bit of food right there. Like I said before, I'll season that. I'll do all my hot sauces and all my stuff afterward when I cook it to get the full flavor there. So one of my other things I'll do is my rice. I had that already cooking ahead of time. I use jasmine rice and I do 2.5 cups a day. So I usually just cook like a bunch in the rice cooker and kind of guesstimate that and see where that's going. But I buy them in big bags like this at a time. This bag will probably last me about a week or so. I'll keep going through. If you guys have BJ's or anything, you can get them in 25-pound bags. That lasts me about a month. So I'll do that last. I'll just keep that, let that get warm for a while. Another thing that I do to get good healthy fats throughout the day is coconut butter. 2 of my meals I do 2 tablespoons a day. This is actually a good fat alternative. It's good healthy fat. Per serving this has about 20 grams of fat and 8 carbs. So not good, not bad, you know, that'll work. Like I said, I do almonds. So while this cooks, we're going to let that cook up and we'll come back and I'll see how it looks afterward. Alright, so when we left you guys, I had 1 day worth of chicken in the pan. I put obviously the second one in there. So this is what 2 days worth of chicken likes all cooked up. And for me, as you notice, stuff's a little bit moved around. I like to clean as I go. So in between, I'll bleach down the cutting board, I'll bleach down my food scale because I use it every day. I'll clean everything out, I put it in the sink as I go. That way when I'm done meal prepping, all I gotta do is wash the pans. I can call it good. I don't the whole kitchen clean too. So the chicken is done. That's 2 days worth of beef is done. Let's see if these potatoes look pretty good here. Oh, they smell awesome. Okay. So like I said, I usually can tell when they're done if I could take a fork and I can put it into them with these. I go for like the thickest piece I can see. Oh yeah, that's why it won't even stick on the fork. That's perfect. Alright, we'll check that bottom pan. Okay, let's see that. Oh yeah, good to go. So I'm going to hit the oven off. Let it sitting there for a minute while I get the rest of this stuff ready to go. Now what I do with my chicken is, you can see here I season it up, like I said, same stuff here. I like spicy food, so I do that. And I said earlier I use buffalo sauce, so I always keep this stuff on hand. Sweet Baby Ray's is awesome. The nutrition facts, it's got 1 gram of carbs, no sugars, no protein, and just a little bit of fat, but that's okay. When you're in a bulk, you could be a little less strict. I don't know if you noticed, you're not exactly weighing too many sauces or seasonings or counting anything like sodium, like I said. I stick to what most would call the bro diet, so as you can see it's a lot of chicken, rice, beef, potatoes, things like that. I do 1 scoop of protein with my post-workout. It's I put it in my 2 cups of egg whites in the shaker, shake it up and drink it, and it's like the perfect shake. So this one is my favorite one. I get the whey protein advanced, and basically this is just mainly going to be protein. It's got 3 grams of carbs and only 1 gram of sugar. 24 grams of protein per scoop, so that's good. I actually put it in this nifty little singular container here. It's like a mini whey thing. And this is awesome because you can actually, that's 1 full scoop you put in there, and then if you got a water bottle, you forgot your cup one day, you go buy a 20-ounce water bottle, fits perfectly. So I carry this with me all the time. This is very important to a meal prep. Always have your protein, alright? Okay, so we got that. I'm going to add a little bit of buffalo sauce here because this is done cooking. That's all good to go, so I'm just going to season that just lightly though. I always regret it at the end. It tastes so good at first, but it never feels good coming out. So, there we go. Get that in there. I go through a lot of buffalo sauce, to be honest. After buffalo sauce, I'll put it on my sweet potatoes. I'll dip my potatoes in it. It's on my chicken. On the beef, I'll just do a little bit. For me, I just like the way it tastes. And when you're eating the same meals every single day, you kind of gotta do what you can to spice it up. I said waiting for performance, not really pleasure, but this kind of just helps me get through the monotony of what this meal and the same thing every single day over and over and over. I'm prepping right now for USA's in June this summer, so this stuff's good. Okay, so now I'm going to show you guys how I bag it up and how my daily, basically what my day of food would look like. So like I said, my first meal, which is breakfast, we got 2 cups of egg whites, 6 ounces russet potatoes, 36 almonds. So first thing, I'm going to take one of my 6-pack containers here and get my egg whites back out of the fridge. So this is really good. Alright, so we got it's 2 cups. So I pre-measure it. Oh yeah, look at that. It's going to be real good. If you guys can get past the texture, it kind of tastes like milk, I swear. It's really not that bad. So that's 2 cups right there, and I'll actually, at work, I'll just chug that right out of the container. I always get a lot of weird looks and stuff, but you know what, if it works, it works. So it's better than eating a bowl of fluff with nothing on it. Okay, so that's 1 right there. I got my almonds here. I'll count those separately. I usually put them in 2 individual baggies. I do almonds twice a day. 1 for breakfast, 36, and 1 at the end of the night with my tuna, which is 36 again. So I'll count all these out. I'll put them in bags here. I won't bore you guys counting 36 almonds twice on the video. So we got almonds, we got our eggs. Now we're going to get our potatoes. 6 ounces of russet potatoes. Okay. Oh yeah, that's good. And I'll give these guys their own container again as well. So let me get this stuff out of the way here. Alright. A little bit too hot. Okay. So like I said earlier, I separate these out in sections. So this little section here, I know, because I set it up that way, is 6 ounces, and these are 6 ounces for the rest of the day. So take these guys here. I'm just going to dump all that in there. So this right here is what I call breakfast, or actually my third meal, rather, because I work out in the morning. So we've got potatoes, egg whites, almonds. That's meal number one. As you can see, this stacks up pretty quick. I actually run out of these, so I go to, sometimes I'll bag up my potatoes when they cool down. I'll put them in a bag and wrap them up and shove them in my 6-pack bag or something like that. I actually won't use a container for my pre-workout meal. I'll save that, and what I do is I'll just put that in like a Pyrex or another meal prep container, and I'll actually just eat that in the morning before I head out, so it saves me room, and it gives you time to digest that before I go to the gym. Okay. So our next meal is actually going to be, let's see here. It's important to write this down, very scatterbrained. 9 ounces of chicken, 1 cup of rice, 2 tablespoons of coconut butter. So now I'm going to get that food scale back out, and we got to weigh the chicken one more time just to be precise. So we're going to continue here. We'll zero that out real quick. It's important to always weigh your rice cooked too. A lot of people do it dry, cook it, and it ends up puffing up to twice the amount. So that's about a cup of rice right there. I don't really need to weigh that, but it's important to just have everything set up. And I'll just try and smash that in there as much as I can to make that work. Zeros our scale one more time. And now we're just going to keep putting chicken in there until that scale says 9 ounces. Oh! Oh, that one's lost. Okay, that's alright. Oh yeah. Good stuff. Ooh, almost there. Almost. Okay, 8.5. We're getting there. Oh, it smells good. Oh, are you kidding me right now? 8.6. 9.8. You know what? We're going to call that good. It doesn't have to be too precise. Okay. Okay, so that's another meal right there. Wipe up that accident real quick. Okay. Alright. Next meal we're going to do is my pre-workout meal, which I'm not going to use in my container first. I'll use one of these ones right here, which is 8 ounces of ground beef and 8 ounces of sweet potato. I actually don't need to use this because I already measured out my beef, so I'll just do beef. And I sectioned off my sweet potatoes, like I said with my other ones. I'm going to scoop that here. Okay, so this is kind of cooled down, so that's nice. Just get those guys in there. And this is actually the first meal I'm going to eat in the morning, and it's, I'm not going to lie, it's pretty rough in the morning eating a burger, but you do what you gotta do. Okay, so that is 9 ounces. I weigh it raw because as you bake it, it kind of weighs down, so that's why I section it and arrange it the way I do, so I know which is which. This is 6 ounces, and this is 6 ounces for my next set of meals, but that's one right there. Now, a lot of people say, oh, I love sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are great. I can eat those all the time. Well, after doing prep and eating them for so much, you probably change your mind. I will never eat sweet potatoes again unless I'm not on this prep. Next meal, like I said, post-workout, 2 cups of eggs and a cup and a half of jasmine rice. So I usually get a shaker cup, some kind of a water bottle or something that I can go with. This is a linear bottle, for example. And pink, so why not? And this one has something on the side, so we need 16 ounces there, so we'll fill that all the way to the top. And that was a carton. That's one day right there. Anyways, so that is one. So put that lid on that and put that in the fridge here in a minute. Like I said, you get your protein, you dump it in there, and then I need a cup and a half of jasmine rice. So with the rice for this meal, because it's post-workout and I only have a couple of slots in my 6-pack bag, I'll actually put that in a baggie here, the rice, because it's going to cool down enough, and I'll just kind of roll that up and just like cram it in like a big ball after the gym. I always get weird looks in the truck, but whatever. So, actually, choose this guy right here. We need 1.5 cups. So this is a little more precise here. And this should be just about the rest of this bowl. I kind of just like to do that here. And you do something like that right there. Oh yeah, good stuff. 1. There's 2. Like I said, this is probably going to be about the whole thing. And here is 3. So that is 1.5 cups right there. Just kind of squish it down. Squeeze all the air out of this thing. And there's a post-workout meal. Where's my book? There's my book. Alright, next we have 9 ounces of chicken breast. Again, 6 ounces of sweet potato, and the coconut butter. Usually what I do is I'll add the coconut butter in while I cook it, or I'll add it in right after, or I'll just spoon it in my mouth, honestly. So let's get this one more time. And get my other pan out with my other section of 9. Alright. Okay, so there's 9 ounces of sweet potatoes. Put that on the scale. Okay, that's all zeroed out. And I'll do the same thing with our chicken. I'm just gonna pile that chicken in there. On the dot. Okay, and that is the sweet potato chicken meal. I'll show you guys that real quick. That's what that looks like in there. Okay, and then next for my final meal is 8 ounces of tuna and 36 almonds. So I usually just do the canned tuna. Now these cans right here, actually, if you look at the back, these are 2 servings of 2 ounces. So these are 4-ounce cans, so I do 2 of these a day. I'll drain them, throw it up a little mustard and hot sauce. We'll eat that right there. I do that at the end of the night though. So I actually usually leave this stuff at home. I don't really take this with me. And then the almonds as well are fine. So, if you look at all this stuff here, this right here is my day of food on my diet right now. I usually do 2 gallons of water a day. And I don't drink soda or anything like that. I take pre-workout every now and again, but I try and cycle off that. So this right there is my day of food. And we're just going to repeat the whole process all over again tomorrow. If you guys got any questions, feel free to send in the comments. Hit the like button below, the bell, subscribe to me. I'll be posting all kinds of videos. Stay classy.